Cracking the code is an innovative solution for older students struggling with reading. Cracking the code was developed to help students who participated in class, understood what was said and read to them, but would then struggle to read grade-level materials on their own. Their fluency and visual word recognition were weak. Test scores for these students showed poor vocabulary and low comprehension. This was a disconnect, leaving us with the question, why is there such a discrepancy? We asked students from grades 3 through 12 to read grade-level passages, even though they were not reading on grade level. Their teachers were asked to write down words students skipped, guessed, or miscalled. A week later, teachers told the students the words they had trouble reading and asked if they knew the definition. Students correctly defined over 90% of the words they struggled to read. We were able to identify that visual recognition of words was the weak link, and not the verbal use or auditory understanding of those words. Understanding the relationship between oral and reading vocabulary became the focus. Students enter school with oral language, and it grows steadily throughout their schooling. This is indicated by the red line. Teachers expose students to new vocabulary and increase their oral language. The green line shows what the normal trend is as students start to learn to read. The gap between students' oral language and reading vocabulary closes significantly in kindergarten through second grade. In grades 3 through 6, the gap continues to close. By the time students enter high school, the gap no longer exists. Students learn a word and read the word. The blue line shows the students we support. Notice the gap starts to close, but not as significantly, and by the time students get to grades 4 and 5, it starts to plateau. By 7th grade and up, it's almost flat. The gap between the words they use and understand and what they're able to actually read shows us clearly why they are frustrated. They do not need vocabulary instruction, they need visual vocabulary recognition. A student I was working with gave me the best question for the program. He got to the word thorough and paused. I told him to sound it out. He went left to right, giving each letter a sound. I told him no, it was pronounced with just 3 sounds. His response was, "How would I know that?" As good readers, we see the combinations in the word. We see this because we read so many words and have internalized the patterns. Our students do not see these patterns. They do what we taught them to do when they were learning to read. Go left to right, giving each letter a sound and blending them together. This works for our basic words, but it will not work for the more complex words in our language. The more complex words come into play around grade 3 and higher. Remember, our line started to flatline after grade 3. We went back to look at decoding. Several researchers identified weak decoding skills as a common weakness in older struggling readers. However, we know our students know the basic decoding. One letter, one sound, blend together. We call that mission accomplished. Our students struggle with advanced decoding. In our language, we can have 2, 3, or even 4 letters go together to make one sound. You need to see these combinations in order to pronounce the words. Our students do not see the combinations and therefore will tell you phonics does not work for them. If students do not recognize those combinations quickly, the words are unrecognizable. Cracking the code changes the way the students see the word. It quickly restores confidence in their ability to read. They learn it is not that they cannot read, just that they were missing a step. Best of all, the program is completed in just 12 weeks. The instruction is done in small groups, 30 minutes per day, 3 to 5 times per week. The lessons are scripted, giving the instructor a step-by-step method of delivery. It also means you do not have to be a reading specialist to teach the program. The instructor's role is to model, support student practice, and immediately correct any errors. The instructor is looking for two things: accuracy and speed. The design has students ask a question at each level and visually check to see if it's found in the word. If it is in the word, students state what was found and then physically mark the word. Each level teaches the students to look for a pattern and what to say and do if they find it. Each level has 3 lessons. The first is for the instructor to directly teach the pattern. Lesson 2 is, now that they know the pattern, find it quickly. And Lesson 3, that's the assessment. The instructor determines if the students have the accuracy and speed. If they do, they move on. If not, more practice is provided. During the lesson, the group works as a team. Students see and hear each other as they learn the pattern. When the instructor is sure they have it, they go to their workbooks and show what they can do independently. The materials consist of the instructor's manual and student workbook. 60-minute online training and additional support is included with the manual purchase. The manual is teacher-friendly and designed for ease of use. Notes are placed at point of use. These are questions that teachers and students asked when we piloted the program. This helps the instructor prepare to teach the lesson by seeing possible questions that are likely to come up during their instruction. The manual contains the student workbook with answers. There are additional lessons for students who require more practice. The student practice book contains independent practice sheets, a self-monitoring progress chart, assessments, bookmarks for visual assistance, and additional practice sheets when needed. The cost of the program is very affordable. The manual, 5 student books, and training is $380. Materials may also be purchased separately. Turning a new page provides outstanding customer support. This can be obtained via phone, email, or online sessions. To recap, the students we support have the oral language reading vocabulary gap. Know they have a problem. Many have lost confidence. They need advanced decoding instruction and are not progressing with the current interventions. We'd love to meet you online to show the materials and how the program works and to answer any questions. Contact us today. Thank you.